Imagine waking up to your cat bringing you a pouch full of money every single day. Sounds like a dream, right? That's exactly what happened to one woman. She enjoyed the easy cash until the police knocked on her door, unraveling a shocking truth that changed everything. Once upon a time, a girl named Cinthia loved animals more than anything else. Since she was little, her two sweet cats were her best friends. They grew up together, and she couldn't imagine her life without them. But as Cinthia finished college, she made a big decision. She decided to move to California for higher studies and to find better job opportunities. This meant leaving her cats behind with her parents, and it broke her heart. In California, Cinthia worked hard. She finished her studies and got a good job, but something was missing. Her home felt empty, and loneliness started creeping in. She wasn't ready to be in a relationship, so she came up with another plan. She decided to adopt a cat. At a local shelter, an older cat named Loki caught her eye. Most people passed him by, choosing younger, playful cats instead. But Cinthia felt a special connection with Loki and decided to bring him home. She hoped Loki would bring some life to her quiet house. What she didn't know was that Loki wasn't just a pet. He was about to change her life forever. When Loki came home, Cinthia wanted him to feel safe and happy. She bought him everything he could need: a soft bed, fun toys, and tasty treats. Since the shelter mentioned Loki liked being both indoors and outdoors, she even installed a cat door so he could explore freely. On his first day, Loki curiously walked around the house, sniffing every corner. He even stepped into the yard, looking around like he already owned the place. Watching him settle in, Cinthia felt proud. Adopting Loki was the best decision she had made, and for the first time in a while, she felt less lonely. At first, Loki was very well behaved. He stayed with Cinthia in the mornings when she left for work, and often went outside during the day. But no matter what, he always returned before she got home. The neighbors started noticing him too, as Loki often wandered near their yards, charming everyone he met. However, after a while, something strange began to happen. When Cinthia came home from work, Loki wasn't there. At first, she felt worried and scared, but soon enough, he would come back. She hugged him tightly, feeling relief because she never wanted to lose him. But this became a regular thing. Loki started spending more time outside, sometimes even staying out until midnight. Cinthia felt uneasy every time he was gone that long. One evening, after spending time with her friends, Cinthia came home late, only to find Loki missing again. She searched everywhere, calling his name, but he was nowhere to be found. That night, Cinthia was filled with dread, fearing that she might have lost her beloved cat for good. The next morning, however, Loki returned home, but with something strange in his mouth, a dollar bill. At first, Cinthia was shocked, wondering how he had gotten it. She thought he must have found it lying on the road. She hugged him tightly, relieved to have him back. She even considered locking him inside to keep him safe. But when she tried, Loki grew upset and started screaming to go outside. With no choice, Cinthia decided to follow Loki the next time he went out. He led her into the woods near her neighborhood, but when she couldn't keep up, she lost him as he disappeared into the trees. But this time, Loki came back home early, and to Cynthia's surprise, he was carrying a pouch full of dollar bills. She couldn't believe her eyes. How could her cat have found so much money? Has someone given it to him? And if so, why? It didn't make sense. But it wasn't just a one-time thing. Every day, Loki went outside and came back in the evening with more money. At first, Cinthia thought about reporting the strange situation to the police, but as the money kept piling up, she couldn't resist the temptation. She decided to keep it. She used the money to go out to fancy restaurants with her friends, buy expensive clothes and jewelry, and treat herself to whatever she wanted. She even bought new toys for Loki, who seemed to enjoy his new life of luxury. However, as the days passed, Loki's trips outside didn't stop. He continued to bring back more money, and Cinthia started to feel uneasy. What was happening? Where was the money really coming from? Then, one day, after she had already spent a lot of the cash, Cinthia received a letter. It was written on fancy paper with elegant handwriting, but the words sent chills down her spine. The note read, "We gave you the money? Now leave us alone. We'll finish the cat off when it gets back to us to clear all tracks." Cynthia's heart raced. What did this mean? Who were these people? And why were they threatening her cat? Had they been the ones giving Loki the money all along? Should she tell the police? What about her cat? Cinthia was torn, unsure of what to do. She thought about telling her friend, but before she had the chance, the next day, there was a knock at her door. When she opened it, 2 police officers stood in front of her. Cynthia's mind raced as she opened the door. Were the police there because of the money? She quickly hid the pouch and the mysterious letter before letting the officers in. To her surprise, they weren't there about Loki or the cash. Instead, they explained that a friend of hers had called. The friend was worried about Cynthia's sudden change in lifestyle. Lavish spending on fancy dinners, expensive clothes, and luxury items. They thought she might be in trouble or involved with someone dangerous. The officers asked if she was safe. Cinthia nervously assured them that everything was fine, but her jittery behavior only made them more suspicious. When they asked to search her house, she hesitated. But when they mentioned they could get a warrant, she reluctantly agreed. As they searched, the officers uncovered the stash of dollar bills and the small pouches Loki had been bringing home. Their curiosity quickly turned into suspicion. With no other option, Cinthia told them the truth. Her cat had been mysteriously bringing the money home. The officers didn't believe her. They suspected she might be involved in illegal activities like drug dealing or money laundering. One officer informed her she would need to come to the station for questioning. In a moment of desperation, Cinthia remembered the letter. She retrieved it and handed it to the officers, hoping it would prove her story. But instead, they became even more skeptical. They thought Cinthia had written the letter herself as part of an elaborate scheme. While Cinthia was at the station, something unexpected happened. A neighbor came forward to give a statement. The neighbor told the officers that they had seen Loki wandering in and out of Cynthia's house with a small pouch around his neck. This backed up Cynthia's story, and the officers began to take her claims more seriously. To get to the bottom of things, the police decided to set up surveillance outside Cynthia's house. The next time Loki went outside, they quietly followed him. Loki wandered into the woods, taking his time sniffing around and exploring. After a while, a man appeared, picked up the cat, and placed a small pouch around his neck. The man then drove to Cynthia's neighborhood and released Loki near her house, just as if nothing unusual had happened. The police immediately apprehended the man. After questioning him, they uncovered the shocking truth. The man was part of a local mafia group. Loki had been trained to act as a courier, delivering money discreetly to pay off the mafia's associates. But when Cinthia adopted Loki, the system broke down. The mafia didn't realize Loki had a new owner and kept using him to transport the cash. With the man in custody, the police unraveled the entire operation. He revealed the details of the gang's drug trafficking business, which led to a massive crackdown on the group. It was a huge win for law enforcement. The authorities even acknowledged Loki's unintentional role in exposing the criminals and decided to let Cinthia keep all the money Loki had brought home as a reward. Cinthia was relieved it was all over. She had been so close to danger without even knowing it. From that day on, she promised herself to be more careful. Loki, on the other hand, seemed happy to stay indoors, content with his cozy home and the safety it offered. Though Cinthia missed the extra money, she was grateful for the calm that returned to her life. Loki had brought unexpected adventure, but more than that, he gave her companionship and joy. That's all for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more heartwarming animal tales here on the Animal World. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.